That's Condoleezza Rice educating the women on the spew on critical race theory.
I come out of an academic institution, and this is something that academics debate, what is the role of race and so forth. And let me be very clear. I grew up in segregated Birmingham, Alabama. I couldn't go to a movie theater or to a restaurant with my parents. I went to segregated schools till we moved to Denver. My parents never thought I was going to grow up in a world without prejudice, but they also told me that's somebody else's problem, not yours. You're going to overcome it, and you are going to be anything you want to be. And that's the message that I think we ought to be sending to kids. One of the worries that I have about the way that we're talking about race is that it either seems so big that somehow white people now have to feel guilty for everything that happened in the past. I don't think that's very productive. Or black people have to feel disempowered by race. I would like black kids to be completely empowered, to know that they are beautiful in their blackness. But in order to do that, I don't have to make white kids feel bad for being white. So somehow this is a conversation that has gone in the wrong direction.
Condoleezza had everyone at the table with their jaw dropped. I wonder if she was aware that she was sitting next to the queen of race baiting. You could just see the disgust in Sunny's expression as she sat there in silence. She looked as if the truth was going to make her vomit. Have you ever heard the panel so silent? Condoleezza left no room for debate, just facts, and they couldn't argue with that. Even the audience applauded her for speaking the truth. I think we can all agree that teaching little children that they're either victims or oppressors because of the color of their skin is emotionally life-scarring. And isn't telling someone that they're racist solely because of the color of their skin racist in itself?
We've seen this strategy before. This tactic is a typical deceptive tactic used as a tool to push an ideology. And if you watch enough of my videos, you'll recognize this technique. This is how it works. First, you need an idea. The idea that's used here is the idea that this society isn't systemically racist. Next, you need a black person. Any black person will work, but if you can get a highly recognized black person, it's even more effective. That black person's job, whether they realize it or not, is to be a cheerleader. Now, you want to get that black person to say that on some level, that either there isn't any systemic racism or systemic racism doesn't affect them. Once they have that secured, they can then point to that black cheerleader and say, see, systemic racism doesn't exist. And I didn't say it, this black person said it. But the game doesn't end there. To them, by pointing to the black cheerleader's success, it's a demonstration that systemic racism isn't a thing, and anyone who is black should be able to do the same. That's the game plan. To recap, get a black face, have that black face say systemic racism isn't an issue, point to that black face as proof positive systemic racism is false. I call this the network marketing technique. You've seen those network marketing videos. Maybe you know them by their old name, multi-level marketing, where they would get a guy who used to be a plumber, truck driver, or some other job, and because of network marketing, he became a millionaire. And they would parade that person around doing hype videos, telling people they could do it too. Something like this.
Enjoy what a cool guy he is, and how somebody that's pretty laid back, very centered, can make it to the very top of the plant. So Eugene, let's start in the beginning. What did you do before you joined network marketing?
Before network marketing, I was actually flipping chickens, not literally, but in the beginning I was.
What does life look like now compared to when you weren't in network marketing or when you got started?
Wow, that's a big one there, Art. Yeah, I guess I could say one word. It's really time freedom. It's something I never had. I could never take more than a 3-day vacation. It's usually that Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
right.
And then I'm back into work, back in the grind. With network marketing now, I mean, a week, 2 weeks, I mean, anything is possible.
Meanwhile, despite what that person is saying, the Federal Trade Commission study concluded that 99% of people who do network marketing don't make any money. 99%. The individual success story is told to fool anyone who is willing to suspend rational thought. You see, just like in network marketing, systemic racism isn't about the individual story. It's about populations. The populations tell the story of the group. The effects of systemic racism can be seen when you look at populations like the prison system, the wealth gap, education inequality, housing inequality, healthcare inequality, etc. Black people, when comparing populations, are on the bottom of every one of those categories. Given the framework of the system-wide supremacy, aka systemic racism, this is what you'd expect under that system. For the people who either want to defend that system or pretend like that system doesn't exist, their strategy is to focus on the individual while ignoring the population. Don't be fooled by this strategy.